Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Each year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the feast of Passover, and when he was 12 years old, they went up according to the festival custom. After they had completed its days, as they were returning, the boy Jesus remained behind in Jerusalem, but his parents did not know it. Thinking that he was in the caravan, they journeyed for a day. And looking for him among their relatives and acquaintances, but did not find him, they returned to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astounded at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety." And he said to them, "Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" But they did not understand what he said to them. He went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them. And his mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus advanced in wisdom and favor before God and man. The Gospel of the Lord. Pope Francis has declared this a year of mercy. A year of mercy for refocusing to the heart of Jesus. A year of mercy for refocusing family life into the heart of Jesus. And this feast of the Holy Family calls us even now to be reinvigorated in making Jesus, who is mercy made flesh, making Jesus the very heart of our own families, as Mary did and as Joseph did. The Holy Family, at the heart of Holy Family, Mary and Joseph cherished life. They especially cherished divine life, but also recognizing that divinity has entered humanity, and to cherish human life is to cherish the life of God. And this remains true for every family who cherishes life. I think at the heart of one of the troubles in family life today is we have lost sight of the mystical quality of life. That life is not the fruit of some physical events, but life is a gift from God which He allows us to participate in, and where He also intervenes to place a soul so that life is not more than just physical, but with the immortal soul, life shares in divinity and eternity. This is fantastic. No other creature on earth is created for such a glorious end. And so the cherishing of life, and especially cherishing the mystical quality of life, becomes fundamental for us. And so Hannah and Mary and Joseph, whom we speak of today in the scriptures. While life, in a sense, new life, frightened them to a degree, perhaps like many good Catholic mothers, pregnancy, a little bit of a daunting experience, yet for them, what's interesting is pregnancy was not a threat, but it was mercy. It was God's mercy. It was a sign of his mercy on the earth. And so when Hannah is pregnant, miraculously it seems, she thinks that God has done something fantastic and merciful to her and to the world. And so it is, because her son becomes a great prophet for Israel at a time when the people needed someone to open their mouth and speak for God, to encourage the people of Israel in a kind of a dark time. And Samuel would be the one who would be the prophet that anoints King David, who would become the Savior. One could say that Samuel was a type of John the Baptist, who made the way for a messianic figure in Jewish history, that is King David, from whom would descend the Savior, Jesus Christ. But in this case, Hannah saw life as miraculous and a gift of God's mercy. And yet, isn't this true about all pregnancies? That all pregnancies are a gift from God, not a product of mere human invention, which we have placed there. No, this is something far beyond. This is the mystery of who God is revealed among us. And so this kind of vision of human life doesn't come from just anywhere, but it comes from the fact that biblical characters like Hannah and Mary and Joseph, they lived devout lives of faith. They lived in the mystery of God, in the practice of their faith, which we do as Catholics. We live in a fantastic ministry, a fantastic mystery here as Catholics, especially in the way we see Christ present and in flesh in the Eucharist, and how he brings himself into us and continues to allow his image to be reflected in us as we receive Eucharist, receiving his very mercy made flesh. In this year of mercy, Pope Francis, I believe, is calling us all prophetically. He's calling us all to open the door to Christ in our own lives and especially in our families, to return to the mystery of life in all its abundance, and that the heart of that mystery is in Jesus Christ. And so the year of mercy is a call for us to open the door to Jesus. It's a call for all Catholics to open the door to Jesus for the sake even of the world. Indeed, we live right now in a world that has more turmoil than some of us probably have ever seen. In the midst of this strife, Pope Francis says we must appeal to God's mercy, who is the only source and wellspring who can satisfy our thirst for peace. And it's the call of the human family to especially engender the opening of this door as we open to life and see life as an act of God's mercy, as we open to the devotion of life in our faith, to continue to make entrances of God in our own lives and in our own hearts. And so in this year of mercy, as all of us refocus on the mercy of Christ, Pope Francis has encouraged holy doors to be in place in all dioceses of the world. In our own diocese, in a number of places throughout the state, there are holy doors in place. One of them is right here at our cathedral, just across the river. The holy door is an ornate door symbolic of literally opening to Christ and opening to his grace and mercy. And walking through the door is symbolic of entering into Jesus Christ and his mercy. The holy door is not a superstitious thing. It's an act of faith where we use something physical to give our senses a taste of an experience of God. And so the pilgrimages to holy doors are being encouraged in our diocese and around the world. And so we are, as a parish, planning a family pilgrimage to the holy door. And so on January 17th, I want to encourage all of you to go to the cathedral, to pass through the holy door and experience a commitment of mercy to Christ and an opening to his mercy in your life. After the 11:30 Mass, those who want to walk to the cathedral on January 17th, we will walk from here. It's barely a mile. We'll walk from here to the cathedral where I've already spoken with Monsignor Frontiero. We have the cathedral reserved for a St. Marie's Day at the cathedral on January 17th. And so we'll all make a pilgrimage there, and if you want to drive, that's fine. But there'll be a pilgrimage of walking and driving, if necessary, to the cathedral, where we'll experience the Holy Door and spend a time of prayer, and then go to the world and bring the mercy of Christ. This St. Marie's Day, January 17th, is where we will all knock, as the Gospel of Matthew says. Knock, and it will be open to you. And what is open to us is the mercy of Christ. I want to encourage you to look in the parish bulletin and on the parish websites for more details about this event as we pilgrimage as a family into the mercy of Christ.
Regina Celi, letare, alleluia, quiaque meruisti portare, alleluia, resurrexit sicut dixit, alleluia, ora pro nobis Deum, alleluia.